Hi, I'm Steve Sable, and really, I do have my own football card. It's part of the 1989 Pro Set Announcer Collectible Series, and my own card collection includes cards dating back to 1935, when the National Chicle Company issued the first ever football card set. In recent years, of course, card collecting, well, it's become a very serious business. Actually, it's become a little too serious. After all, it's a hobby, and it's supposed to be fun. For that matter, pro football's supposed to be fun, but sometimes we approach the game as if it were life and death. Fortunately, we've got the football follies to lighten things up. Now, what's a football folly? Well, we asked around and heard a lot of different answers.
Football folly? That's a good question.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Relax in your living room grandstand as we bring you exciting highlights from the National Professional Football League games.
Here's Gannon on the play action, flag on the play. He throws the ball up again and catches it. Now throws it again. Can you believe that? Now that's going to be in those football follies, right? That's got to be.
If I had time to sit back and think about it, I probably can come up with something.
I think I can answer that.
But first, here is an important message.
Left kick.
Left now. You got that? What's your left hand?
Is that a trick question?
This is a trick question, right?
Get out of my face, man. Ask me something, worthwhile.
Hey, Joe, are you still using that greasy kid stuff on your hair?
Oh, D! Keep it up!
Get that ball back!
Nice head. Nice head.
Now comb it. Now let's compare combs. Look at the grease on your comb.
How would I spell folly? You mean the regular way or anyway?
It's up anyway.
Oh, F-O-L-L-I-E.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Something stupid that happens on the field, I guess.
Picks it up at the 15, moves forward, the kick is blocked, up into the air.
Oh, that's football follies.
Football follies is people embarrassing themselves.
F-O-L-L-Y.
It's like a walk on the wild side.
F-O-L-L-I-E.
Folly's a stupid thing, just utterly insane. Mindless stuff.
Folly is what happens when you get caught with your pants down.
An incident that happens that not supposed to happen, but it happens and you gotta make the most of it.
Kick is blocked, and Landry tried to recover. It rolls free. The Colts have it, and it's going to be pulled out of bounds. That's lateraled around. Now here's Landry. Landry to the 5. Landry is going in for a
just can't take it serious. You just have to laugh about it. Just unbelievable.
Stop, fires over the middle, and it is up in the air. Carter battling. Looks like volleyball. Is it a catch? It is. That is the strangest play I've ever seen.
Now get set for a play you'll probably never see again.
Now here's O'Brien. Back to pass, looking long. He heaves it down the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. And then grabbed away by Stoney. Runs into the end zone for the touchdown. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Unbelievable!
This is just incredible.
Can you believe that? I don't believe what I just saw.
Oh my God, I can't believe we blew that play.
Holy cow! You're kidding. I can't believe that. Unbelievable! Woo!
Total bust.
Down to your seats for this play, folks, for it'll be a long time before you see another like it.
And now, here's a hidden ball play.
Never seen anything like that, man. Never seen anything like that.
Folly. F-O-L-L-I-E. Potato.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry. You better hurry. Get your big butt out of here.
Wait, stop. Listen, whoever has that ball, throw it here.
We're going to make a little highlight film there. That's going to be in the football Follies.
Hello, boy, Joe. About time you switched to Vitalis.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Are you picking this up over there? Good.
These cards demonstrate that players weren't always captured at their best when it came time to say cheese. They're not always at their best during a game either. So wouldn't it be great if there were cards that captured the worst, weirdest, and wildest moments in pro football history? In pro football, practice doesn't always make perfect. During a 1985 playoff game at Chicago, Giants punter Sean Landeta encountered a stiff wind that knocked one of his kicks off course. The weak punt went down instead of up, and the Bears were credited with a touchdown return that spanned all of 5 yards. In 1986, Pittsburgh's Harry Newsome also got caught with his punts down. His boots were blocked so frequently that he set an NFL single-season record for punts blocked.
Snap is low. Newsome has it blocked again. And here they go, kicking it in for a touchdown. This will be the third try for Harry. Here's the snap, and it's blocked. And they've got it, and it's going to be a touchdown.
The Steelers have had, 6 punts blocked this year? Joy, it's a National Football League record. Harry's got all 6 of these.
Catching punts can be as calamitous as kicking them, as Cleveland's Webster Slaughter proved in 1991.
The Browns did not come after him. High, booming spiral. Slaughter all the way back, grabs it at the 1. He'll have to come ahead. Slaughter's in big trouble. He's back in the end zone and gets out to the 1, fumbles the ball. It's loose at the 3-yard line, and the Eagles have it. Webster Slaughter committed the cardinal sin of trying to field a punt at the 1-yard line.
Actually, in 1991, sloppy return work was more of a Brown sin than a Cardinal sin. Here, Eric Metcalf thinks he's downing the ball in the end zone, but actually the end zone is 3 yards behind him. Perhaps the weirdest kickoff return of all time occurred in 1990. Pittsburgh rookie Barry Foster was the culprit.
Here's the kickoff. It's going to be short. And bouncing from the 50. Somebody get on the football. Uh-oh. Touchdown, San Francisco. No, they can't advance it. They get the ball. Foster watched the ball.
Oh, boy.
Foster stood there.
Terrible mistake by the rookie running back, Barry Foster. He apparently under the impression that where the ball would be down, the Steelers would get it. But that's a free ball, and he didn't know it. You'd think you would have learned that in college.
The Legion of Lenses focused on Super Bowl VII captured another spaced-out special teams play. Miami's Garo Yepremi made an ill-advised transformation into a passer after his field goal attempt was blocked by the Redskins. Garo's gaffe deserves a second look, and the pint-sized place kicker deserves the dishonor of throwing the worst pass ever. Super Bowl XIII featured another big game blunder when Tom Landry's Cowboys were just about to get the drop on Pittsburgh. But the drop they got was not exactly what they had in mind.
Roger back to throw, has a man open in the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, drop! Dropped in the end zone. Jackie Smith all by himself. Oh, bless his heart. He's got to be the sickest man in America. Oh, Jackie was so wide open in the end zone, it was incredible.
Less crucial, but no less embarrassing, was the mortifying move made by Minnesota's Jim Marshall in 1964.
Now stops, throws, completes it to Kilmer up at the 30-yard line. Kilmer driving for the first down, loses the football. It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way. Marshall is running the wrong way, and he's running it into the end zone the wrong way. Thinks he scored a touchdown. He has scored a safety.
He came running down the sideline, and he was just jumping up and down, full of joy. And I was the first one to greet him. And I was so disheartened, disappointed, and here's my friend Marshall coming down the sideline full of glee. I said, Jim, you ran the wrong way.
Another player in need of a compass was Chicago's Whizzer White, number 33, whose 51-yard retreat accounted for the biggest loss of yardage in league history. A fumble at the finish provided the icing on the cake to White's half-baked run in reverse. There's probably no good place to fumble, but without question, the worst place to lose the ball is at the goal line. Just ask Sammy Smith, who twice in 1991 turned the end zone into the twilight zone.
Handoff, Smith, left side, hurdles a defender, he's stuck in midair, the ball turned free, picked up by Chris Martin, the 20, a foot race to the 30. Oh, baby, what a play!
In lightning strike twice, Sammy Smith hurdle. Ball is loose again. The Oilers have the football, and for the second straight week, Sammy Smith is fumbled at the goal line. Can you believe that? I don't believe what I just saw.
Quarterback Dave Craig has fumbled near the goal line, and just about everywhere else on the field. Entering the 1992 season, Craig has coughed up the football a league record 108 times during his 12-year pro career.
Craig lets the ball get away from him. Mecklenburg's chasing him. It's on the 2-yard line. It's Mecklenburg rolling into the end zone.
But not even Craig endured a day like Cardinals quarterback Jim Hardy, number 21, who fumbled twice and threw an NFL record 8 interceptions against the Eagles in 1950. Sometimes the difference between a turnover and a turnaround is simply a matter of who gets the luckiest bounce. The most bizarre bounce of all time occurred in the 1972 AFC divisional playoff battle between Pittsburgh and Oakland.
It's down to one big play. 4th down and 10 yards to go. Hang on to your hats. Here come the Steelers out of the huddle.
It appeared that the Steelers, who trailed 7-6, didn't have a prayer. But what happened next could only have been caused by divine intervention.
Bradshaw running out of the pocket, looking for somebody to throw to, fires it downfield.
And there's a collision. That's caught out of the air. The ball is pulled in by Franco Harris. Harris is going for a touchdown for Pittsburgh.
Franco Harris's immaculate reception proved that in pro football, a fine line separates the heroes from the zeros. There's no scientific way to identify that line. The answer lies in the cards. During the 1950s and 60s, flip-side scratch-off quizzes became a football card staple. And so did those cornball cartoons that provided some mundane fact about a player's personal life. Noah Jackson, for example, he liked watching TV soap operas. Since contemporary cards no longer feature these scratch-off sections or cartoons, we decided to bring back the backs from a bygone era of card collecting. Since passers always look so cool and in control on the front of cards, the back might be the best place to demonstrate that it's no snap to play quarterback. Maybe an extra large card back would be the right size for Chicago's 330-pound William Perry, the bulkiest ball carrier of all time. In 1985, Perry was drafted as a nose tackle, but after Bears head coach Mike Ditka installed the rookie at running back late in the game against San Francisco, the refrigerator warmed up to his new position.
For the go-ahead score, in motion Moorhead to the right side. Hand off to Perry, crosses the right side. Touchdown! Look at William Perry doing the high five. All right, here's Jim McMahon barking out the signal. Perry in motion to the near side. McMahon fakes the hand off and fires the right side. Oh, my God! The legend continues. William Perry.
The Cardinals have always done unconventional and usually unintentional things on the football field. They've played in 3 different cities while suffering 42 losing seasons during their 71 years of existence. No one knows whether the Cardinals of the 50s and 60s actually practiced the lateral, because in those days it seemed more like they were pushing the panic button rather than turning the page of the playbook. By the time they got to Phoenix, the Cardinals' defense had actually developed a lateral drill that put a new spin on the team's old spontaneity.
You guys practice that, huh?
Every day. In and out and in.
Even though the lateral might have been practiced to perfection, its haphazard nature is the stuff of which follies are made. And in this case, follies have consistently been created by a pack of cards. Sometimes quarterbacks can act a little off-center. In the pass pocket, some quarterbacks display fancy footwork, while others exhibit chancy footwork. Overcoming embarrassment has never been a quality mentioned on football cards. But the ability to turn a whoops into a wow reveals as much about a player's personality as that little cartoon that tells you what he does in his spare time.
Crawford stumbles as he goes back to pass, goes down, gets up, and now cranks up, throws a deep bomb to Butler. He's got it! Touchdown Seahawks!
Today's cards are slick, state-of-the-art productions, and while there are brief player bios on the backs, they emphasize on-field achievement rather than off-field activity. So you won't find a scratch-off section or cartoon on the back of Herschel Walker's cards. And that's too bad, because he once had a very unusual off-season occupation. Back in 1988, when Herschel wore the cowboy star on his helmet, he also wore the uniform of the Fort Worth Ballet. Now, use your imagination. Imagine every pro football player is a member of the NFL Ballet Company, a company that performs during the season. In the 1968 Topps and 1950 Bowman sets, certain card backs explained official NFL signals. Here are a few unofficial officiating signals that should have appeared on the backs of cards. While an official's flag is yellow, a red cross on that flag might be more appropriate because from September through January, it's always been open season on zebras in the NFL. Even when the footage was black and white, officials wound up black and blue. In the modern game, the players are bigger and faster, while the officials are still smaller and slower. Refs not only have to contend with cold shots, they must also handle hot tempers.
They're offside.
Hey, ref, they're offside.
Sorry. I saw it, but I'm not going to get on them today.
Threw his helmet.
Coming over to the bench.
No, he wasn't. He cannot take his helmet off and throw the helmet anywhere on the field of play.
That's
not a chicken.
It is a chicken call.
Oh, that's a horse call. To go signal, we always do that. Big time. It's got to be a clear signal, specifically in the rules that way. Specifically.
The right tackle, no! The right tackle! No! Good! The right tackle, no!
So it's our ball. It go back. It's our ball. That's what happened to us. It's our ball. It's our ball. Look at him. He threw the ball. Look at him.
What do you call it? On us? That's impossible. That's impossible for you to see that. That's totally impossible.
We'd like a replay. Can we get the replay, please?
Replay. Replay.
Can we get a replay on it?
Where's the replay? Who's in charge of the replay? Stop the clocks. Do something to get the replay.
Now, first of all, you're going to ask me what I thought of the call last week on Frank Warren?
God.
Refs always have to be on the lookout. Otherwise, they'll really wind up in pieces. Getting in the way of the big boys may cause officials to lose their footing, but they always keep their dignity and their sense of mission. What's so funny about football cards? Well, poses like these still crack me up. It looks like the NFL was voguing long before Madonna wore her first training bra. What's so funny about pro football? Again, we asked around and got a variety of answers.
When someone gets hit from the blind side, I think that's funny. All of a sudden, wham, the legs go up in the air and they're flat on their back like, damn, what happened to me? That's funny to me.
Seeing one of my best friends get creamed on the other side of the field.
Watch this tackle. Smack. Oh, doctor, there seems to be a little bit of work for you here.
Not hurt, just creamed, you know?
Crash. Yow. Ouch, right in the stomach.
Makes you laugh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Questions like that, I guess. I don't know.
Bizarre fans.
I got you to hold me so safe.
I guess seeing Jerry Glanville on the sidelines in his little black uniform.
He's a first-year official. You know what? Was he from college? I hate them college guys. That's all right. I hate them. Was he a Bula Bula official? Is he a college official?
Well, he's a first-year man. He's just starting.
Would you bring him over to me, please? Let me talk to the college guy. I hate college guys.
Okay.
This isn't college. You're not at a home college.
I understand.
This is NFL, which stands for not for long when you make them calls.
Yeah.
I'll be selling groceries.
Nah, I guess that wasn't real funny.
Getting ready to go on the football field and running out there, getting ready for a big play, and a 78-year-old guy that was handling the chains steps in front of me. Oh, excuse me, buddy. You okay? You okay? And poor guy knocked him silly. I looked into his eyes, and I didn't see anything in his eyes. No way. You know what? You okay? Put your hat back on. Yeah. He got nailed.
In 1959 and 1960, Topps used the wrong photo on Jim Taylor's cards. The guy on these cards is Jim Taylor, an obscure St. Louis linebacker, not the Jim Taylor, the hard-nosed Hall of Fame fullback. Since card companies do make mistakes, they ought to issue cards honoring on-field miscues. Here's another set of our Video Follies cards. These feature some unusual examples of teamwork. Every NFL team seeks to throw their opponents for a loop. But desire doesn't always conform to reality. And while there are some who can engineer crushing defeats, other teams demonstrate that creating football follies is an 11-man job. Back when the Cardinals played in the city of Chicago, they also played in a state of chaos. And on this classic play, the team's flair for improvisation enabled 7 ball handlers to get into the act. More recently, it was organization rather than improvisation that called for 11 Jets to handle the ball during a long, long lateral designed to pull off a last-second miracle win. While the miracle never happened, it's still possible to marvel at the Jets' determination to keep going on, and on, and on. A play like this suggests that every team wants as many players as possible involved in the action. And pro football history has proven that a team wreck is usually the result of teamwork. Take the performance of the Washington Redskins in the 1940 NFL championship game.
Here comes the Washington squad, 30 strong and plenty tough. Here's Coach Red Flaherty with some of the boys, anxious to put on a good exhibition for the benefit of owner George Marshall and his wife.
The Chicago Bears tore into Washington on the first play from scrimmage when Bill Osmanski's touchdown was aided by George Wilson's 2 for the price of 1 block. The hapless Skins also threw 8 interceptions on the way to suffering the most lopsided defeat in league history. Despite this loss, the Redskins became one of the league's most solid franchises. something that can't be said for the old Dallas Texans. In 1952, the team from Big D was a big dud.
They were so bad and the attendance was so poor that they had to play, I think, the last 3 or 4 ball games that were scheduled at home, they had to play them on the road.
We knew we weren't any good, and we were playing out the string, and we felt sorry for the people, but there was nothing you could do. We didn't have the manpower to beat the teams we were playing. And the team folded during the middle of the year, and we got our checks, and Jimmy Phelan, who was our coach, he called practice and everything. He said, "Oh, I go down to the bank and cash your checks before they all start bouncing." So that's what we did. We went down to the bank and got our checks, and then we went on the road in Hershey, Pennsylvania, where our headquarters for the last 4 games of the season, and the league paid our salary.
The Saints lasted longer than the Texans, but they didn't always use their heads in the most effective way. The New Orleans franchise was born in 1967, but it would be years before the team stopped crawling. In fact, it wasn't until 1987 that the Saints posted their first winning record, meaning that they had endured 20 straight non-winning seasons, an NFL mark that might never be equaled. The Tampa Bay Bucks also deserve to be immortalized in the Football Follies Hall of Shame. An expansion franchise created in 1976, the Bucks were coached by a caustic customer named John McKay.
It bothers me that they have picked us to be the worst team in football because what they're doing now is challenging your physical and your mental capacity and my ability to coach. Now this hurts me. Second worst team, I could stand it, but not the worst team.
You can't stop a pass or a run. Otherwise, we're in great shape. Hey, what's wrong with playing Mon in the game? He tackles. Huh? We got all these old pros. Nobody tackles. We're trying to get the ball to keep it about a week. How the hell are you going to get knocked back? Well, these guys are almost gutless. And the ones that aren't that are brainless.
You had to scramble out of there quite a bit, a lot of sacks.
Well, we didn't block them, but we made up for it by not tackling.
The Bucks lost 26 straight games before they ever enjoyed their first ever taste of victory. No NFL team has ever blundered so consistently or in so many consecutive contests. While the Bucks kept hanging themselves, McKay maintained his gallows humor.
What we needed was Knute Rockne, and he was not here. We will attempt to come back next Sunday in Tampa Stadium in front of our own crowd. We've now proven we can't play on the road or in front of our own crowd. So we would like to have a neutral site.
But it was the Giants' John McVay, not the Bucks' John McKay, who made the most infamous decision in NFL history.
Under 30 seconds left in the game. From here on in, Pizarczyk can just fall on the football, and there is nothing the Eagles can do. And Pizarczyk fumbles the football. It's picked up by Herman Edwards. 15, 10, 5, touchdown Eagles! I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do not believe what has occurred here, ladies and gentlemen. As the Eagles beat the Giants 19-17 before a shocked crowd at the Meadowlands.
Once, though, a bizarre fumble brought about a happy ending for the fumbling team.
20-14. 10 seconds left. The crowd takes up a chant of defense. Robisky and Banaszak are the back. Slot right. Branch inside. Bradshaw, Stabler back. Here comes the rush. He sidesteps. Can he throw? He can't. The ball flipped forward as loose. A wild scramble. 2 seconds on the clock. Casper grabbing the ball. It is ruled a fumble. Casper has recovered in the end zone. The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. They said yes. There's nothing real in the world anymore. The Raiders won the football game. The Chargers are standing, looking at each other. They don't believe it. Nobody believes it. I don't know if the Raiders believe it. It's not real. 52,000 people minus a few lonely Raider fans are stunned. A man would be a fool to ever try and write a drama and make you believe it. This one will be relived forever.
If this card is any indication, Elroy Hirsch was using Liberace's hairdresser back in the 1950s. And this isn't one of those serial killer cards that some company in California started producing last year. It's Tom Banks, a wild man for the 70s Cardinals. And why does Johnny U have that glazed look on his face? These are favorites from my card collection, and they symbolize the enjoyment that I've always derived from collecting ever since I was a kid. You see, cards represent pieces of time for those of us who love the game. They remind us of pro football moments to cherish and to chuckle about. One card company claims that collecting cards is like having a highlight reel in your hand. Well, the next time you play this tape, you'll have a Follies reel in your hand.